Trying to get this right, y'all. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I just want to prove the point real quick. And some of that keep going hard with these fucking directed energy weapons and fucking with my dog. Yeah, that's me. So yeah, I'm gonna make this a little educational purposes video only, just so they can't flag it for no reason. I am not the owner of this video. You'll see the owner, but it doesn't belong to me. They're doing little weird shit around the house, you guys. Another thing I want to point out is I am not suicidal, and I do not do drugs that fucking, you can OD from. So if anything happens to me, you know it was them. They've been turning this bullshit up on me and having these one headlight vehicles past the house. They're doing little weird shit like getting on top of the roof and, getting into the house when I leave and, doing little shit to let me know that they've been in the house. So, if anything happens to me, it's these motherfuckers, man. Because they're trying to make me shut up. They're trying to keep me from fucking doing these videos, so they're turning the shit up with the directed energy weapons. And they see I keep making videos no matter how hard they go on me with the directed energy weapons. The only thing that sucks is that my dogs have to go through it too. But we're going through it anyway, so they just turn it up a little bit on us. I'm getting hit with them, so the same thing happening to them. It's happening to me. I've tried to get rid of them, find good homes for them on numerous occasions. Because, I didn't want them to go through this. But they block everything. They get on, it's the police, so they get on your internet and, they block everything. So whoever you talk to on the internet, the police will call them and, tell them some shit about you and to play out a scenario. So when you actually contact that person and talk to them, they'll fucking play out a skit that the police told them to play out. I don't know if they get paid for it. They might be connected to Neighborhood Watch. That's the thing with fucking, when you're trying to buy things or, find homes for your pets and shit. Like all these Neighborhood Watch motherfuckers is so connected. It's like, you're contacting somebody about something that's a part of Neighborhood Watch. And they tell them, look, we got him on the list. And, if they're not a part of it, then they get some type of incentive to fucking harass you. And, it's just bullshit. So, saying all that to say, I couldn't get him a home and shit because, it just wasn't happening. And then they give me little hints and shit like, I'll take your dog. Like saying shit like that, like letting me know like if I try and get rid of them, or if I do happen to get rid of them, I might get rid of them to one of them. And I'm not trying to do all that. So we just have to be in this motherfucker cooking together and shit. You feel me? But when I say this program, and these directed energy weapons. When I tell you this program, these directed energy weapons being used on us, and then them triggering us with one headlight vehicles. When I say this shit is killing people, I'm not sitting here and I'm not playing with you guys. Like, this right here was just 4 months ago.
So wait, what's the catch? That's what most people ask when they hear about SMUD's brand new home battery incentive.
Because a Kentucky man.
Again, this is for educational purposes, and I know I don't own the rights to this video.
Accused of murdering his neighbor.
The crime happened a week ago in a Somerset neighborhood, and today police testified about the bizarre circumstances surrounding the crime. As
This is for educational purposes. I do not own this video. Please pay very close attention. Like I said, chill out, bro. Like I said, I'm not lying when I say that people are fucking killing people behind this shit. I'm not lying to you when I tell you I'm going through this shit with my neighbors and shit. I try to show you through my dogs, because, you know, they can obviously, you know, they have no fucking agenda. Like, I'm telling you this shit is happening to me and my fucking dogs are sitting here, you know, going through fucking bullshit, and you're watching. It's a no-burner, but saying all that to say, this is why people off themselves sometimes.
learning more about the case from the 911 calls made after the shooting. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on what took place in the case today in Pulaski County. Our top story at 5.
After Adam Roark was shot outside his home on Dogwood Lane, there were 2 911 calls that were made. One came from Roark's wife, who had witnessed the shooting, and the other came from the suspect himself.
See, they don't ever think that the targeted individual is gonna do something to retaliate for what they're doing to us and shit. They just have fun with us and fucking shoot us with these fucking directed energy weapons and shit. And, you know, this guy isn't no fucking, you see, he fucking, after he did what he did to that guy, he called the police on himself and let the police know to come get him, because this is what he did. Like, this guy, you know, he's not a fucking criminal. Like, he wanted to fight that shit in court, man. And, you know, unfortunately, it's designed for us to lose anything like that. It's designed for that, so the program can keep going and people can keep getting their fucking big budgets and shit. And they can say that they need more money to, you know, more money to sponsor this fucking bullshit, terrorist bullshit they got us on. So they get bigger budgets. In your neighborhood watch people, they get their boats and shit for the summer. They get their new Teslas and shit. You know, off of fucking us fucking flipping out and doing something, or us fucking up and getting locked up, like doing some violent shit, assault to one of these motherfuckers harassing us and locking us up for the police department. Because not only do the police get a budget, but, you know, they get that person in jail, and they get a lot of money for a person in jail a day. I'm not gonna tell you the exact number of how much they get, because I don't know the exact number. But research how much the police get paid for a person to be in jail for a day. So if they can get us to fucking, you know, if they can get us to, you know, act out of our fucking anger and shit for being in this program, then they can lock us up and they can get paid off us like that as well. So they don't want this program to end. Make no mistake about that. So they'll get on TV and lie and cover it up and say we had a mental illness. So you can't be joking on me like that though. They'll say we had a mental illness. Which, you know, it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up that our fucking police department would fucking do that, but here we go.
Number one. Yeah, I just wanted to call and say, hey, I just shot Adam Roark. You know, I've been tortured for 5 years now.
James Gleason called to say that he had shot his neighbor, and a detective testified that Gleason told him that torture was his neighbors using direct energy weapons on him.
Go ask.
Make no mistake, these directed energy weapons is real. That's all I'm gonna play, you guys. You guys can, if you're really interested in it, let me get that shit out the way. It says Southern Kentucky murder suspect appears in court, and this is 4 months ago. His name, I can't think of it. Hold on, let me see. Okay, the name of the video is Kentucky man accused of murdering his neighbor, claims tortured by directed energy weapon. So, like I said, man, I'm not making this shit up. I show you guys every fucking day what these people are doing. What these neighbors are doing. You know, the police. These people following me with one headlight, doing creepy shit, smiling all crazy and shit. Knowing that I have fucking a psychological trauma from being stabbed by somebody coming out of a vehicle with one headlight. And this was before I started documenting vehicles with one headlight, as far as hopping out. And, you know, that's what made me start hopping out and, you know, getting the faces of people in one headlight vehicles and shit. Because the person that stabbed me got out of a one headlight vehicle car while I was, you know, working on my van, cleaning it, getting it ready for myself and shit. And I was stabbed. So, yeah, I have a psychological trauma from that. And basically, me getting out of the vehicle and getting their faces and shit is not only therapy and shit, but like, you know, like I tell you guys all the time, I know they're gonna do something. They're gonna try and set me up some way, or you know, just anything. And I am not into no criminal activity. I'm not, you know, on no heavy drugs and shit. I just smoke marijuana, so I won't be ODing. What else? I don't plan on harming myself or anybody else. So there's something else I'm leaving out. There's something I am leaving out. Whatever the case, there's no, oh yeah, I'm not suicidal. I am none of those things. I'm not suicidal or none of that shit. So, you know, should something happen to me, you know, it's the police. They're gonna do something, set up. You guys see it on my videos. The car is jumping in front of me, trying to get me to crash into them and shit. All types of shit. You guys, you've seen that on numerous occasions. 3, at least you've seen it on 3 occasions. And that's only because they're turning this fucking program up on me. And, you know, I'm not tripping. I just want people to fucking know, like, you know, they're not gonna be able to cover this shit up and say that I'm crazy. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna leave some type of foot trail that shows that I'm not crazy. Like, if they do something to me, like, I want people to be able to look at my videos and shit and see, like, okay, well, they might say this, but this does look kind of crazy. All these vehicles with one headlight, people walking by and doing weird shit. You feel me? Like how bold is that to, like, a person is ignoring your fucking harassment so much that when they pull up in front of the house, you start fucking driving by slow with one headlights and creepy ass smiles and shit. Like, that's some creepy fucking shit, and it's scary, man. It's scary that they would do that because the dude that did that had his fucking kid in the car, which is beyond me. Like, I don't understand. How in the fuck could you be harassing somebody like this with your kid in the car? But, these people, it is what it is, man. Weak. These people are wicked. No, look. But, this is police orchestrated shit, and people are unaliving people. And I just wanted to point that out. I'm going to point this out again.
He did not give details as far as what a direct energy weapon was.
The shooting happened just after midnight last Wednesday. There was testimony that Adam Roark was. The shooting happened just after midnight last Wednesday. Direct energy weapons.
This is a police orchestrated program. And what I mean by it is, see the police get on TV and fucking say the person had a mental illness, or they don't know what these weapons are, the directed energy weapons are. This is what I mean, the cover up, because they supplied the fucking neighborhood watch with the directed energy weapon. But he's acting like he don't know. He's acting like he don't know where they get him from, or he don't even know about him. It's all psycho. You could look in his eyes and see that he's fucking lying. Think about it. Dude would not have called the fucking police and say, come and get me. I did this to my neighbor because he's using directed energy weapons on me. You try so much to fucking report this shit to the police, and they know what's going on, and they treat you like you're the fucking crazy one, when they're the fucking one supplying these fucking terrorists with fucking weapons to do this to us with.
Him.
Though asked, he did not give details as far as what a direct energy weapon was.
The shooting happened just after.
You could see he was fucking lying. But this is what we go through. This is what we go through, and this is what we have to deal with, man. People doing this to us and following us around with one headlight, trying to trigger us into violent reactions and shit. And it's all hidden from the public, because if we try and tell anybody, we're the crazy ones. Just like the people who tried to tell you about the type of people that were in the fucking Epstein files. They were fucking crazy. Just think 20 years ago, what are you doing? Just think 20 years ago, when people were telling people what was going on in these files. If they would have started looking into that, instead of calling us crazy and shit, instead of putting all this money into fucking harassing citizens and shit that ain't really doing shit. If they would have put the money into doing that, think about how many children would have been saved. How many babies wouldn't have been fucking raped and fucking ate and shit like that. You know? Think about the good they could have used this fucking program for. But they're using it to make American citizens like us fucking flip out so they can get a big budget. So these neighborhood watch motherfuckers could drive around in Teslas and shit and fucking boats and shit. You know? They'd rather do that than catch real criminals and shit. Use this program to catch real fucking terrorists. Because people who kidnap and fucking eat and rape fucking children are terrorists. If you choose not to believe that, then you're a fucking terrorist too. Fucking doing this shit to people who fucking ain't doing half the crime a lot of these people are doing, man. We haven't committed, all of us together probably haven't committed, you know, more crimes than these people are committing against us. You feel me? That's the little, well, targeted individuals. If you know, you know. You heard the little motorcycle bullshit. If you know, you know. That's why I pulled over the other day when I was doing a live and shit. Let the motorcycle get in front of me and shit. But if you know, you know. I'm not trying to explain it to nobody. People are dying behind this shit. If you can't use common sense. And the proof is in the fucking pudding and shit. Let me see. This whole video is for educational purposes, ladies and gentlemen. Since people don't want to research it themselves. Myron May. This guy right here, Myron May, pleading to the fucking police, telling the police, like, look, these people are fucking with me, using weapons on me, and pleading to the police. The police, the people who run this fucking program. Got these neighborhood watch motherfuckers fucking with him and giving people incentives. People, you know, just giving people incentives to fuck with him and shit. Just like they do us. Pleading to the police to fucking help them. You guys could check this out too. It's a full 2-hour diary of Myron May. Lawyer. He was a lawyer. But they got on the news and said he wasn't taking his medication. Because you got to realize doctors are involved with this shit. Everybody gets money for this shit. Corporations, the police departments, neighborhood watch. They all get a budget for this. Anytime one of us act out, they get a budget for this shit. They need more, you know, what is it? They need more fucking, you know, they need more money so they could fund it even more to prevent this type of shit from happening. To try and catch it before it happens. Sometimes they call it predictive policing. They're another fucking organization. It's another faction of this fucking harassment. Like they follow you, they follow you and harass you, but they're telling people that you're violent and you have anger issues, and they're just watching you and shit. To predict, You know, if you're gonna happen to do anything to people in that certain area that you're in, that's an area where there is a lot of crime. So they'll use that and put the program on you, and you know, you become one of us. Let me see. Yeah, being that they tell people you're violent or whatever, you know, you're on some type of watch list. And so people act like they're following you around and, you know, watching you and just, you know, you're just under surveillance and shit, but they're harassing you at the same time. And if they can make you flip out, you know, it's like they get incentives if they can make you flip out. Everything's a fucking play. Like everything, if one thing doesn't get to you, the police will find something that, you know, they think that'll get to you, and they'll have the fucking neighborhood watch and all the people harassing you play on that. Or whatever they see that strikes a nerve, they'll stick with that. And as you see, they see that their bullshit hasn't been striking nerves with me and shit, so they use directed energy weapons heavy on us. And they know that every time they fucking use that shit, and my dogs fucking, you know, they know that strikes a nerve and shit. That's another thing, like I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck, man. These people are just evil. They're evil. You feel me? They only been using that shit on the Kentucky dude for 5 years. You feel me? He only been getting that shit for 5 years and he flipped out. I've been going through this shit for damn near 17 fucking years. 17 years of investigation on the watch list. On the watch list? 17 fucking years? Come on. I mean, if it takes you that long to find a fucking bomb on somebody like for 17 years and shit, like your investigation bullshit is bullshit, period. It's made up fucking bullshit. Nobody fucking investigates somebody for fucking 17 years. Nobody investigates somebody, 5 years, I could see that. I could see the feds investigating somebody but this isn't just investigating. This is complete fucking terrorism because they harass us. They vandalize our property, vehicles, homes, break into our homes. Try and psychologically trigger us with one headlights and tail lights. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I know I don't deserve to be on no motherfucking watch list. I don't deserve to have a criminal organization like Neighborhood Watch fucking harass me every fucking day I walk out this house. Every day I come in this house. You know, I didn't do nothing to deserve that. I guarantee you they've done way worse than me in life. I guarantee you that. But hey. I'm gonna let you guys hear this, brother. So you can see they made him do this. This dude is very soft-spoken. He was a lawyer. Very smart. I don't know. You know, they try and say he had a mental illness and this is why he did it. To cover the bullshit up. But if you listen to him, you can tell this dude, come on, man.
Thing, they think they're helping to prevent crime or something like that, so they have that altruistic feeling, plus they get money for it. But what they don't realize is that many of those people are just participating in an evil, ungodly designed to debilitate people like me, everyday, ordinary citizens. And to be honest, it's just not fair because we didn't do anything to end up on this list. Eventually, due to the targeted individual's own fear and apprehension, as well as his friends, coworkers' apprehension that's been given to them in a false way, the targeted individual starts to withdraw and isolates himself, and he's alone, and that basically helps them to continue with the gang stalking program, which is designed to destroy them. So I'm going to talk about some of the particular gang stalking methods that are utilized to harass targeted individuals.
This guy he isn't crazy. He doesn't have a mental illness. He's breaking it down to you. He's telling you, this is a lawyer, you guys. This is a fucking lawyer. He's not. I mean, if he was crazy, how the fuck did he make it to be a lawyer? I mean, don't get me wrong. Crazy people can be a lawyer, but I'm just saying, a black lawyer at that, they'd have caught that shit head on and been like, nah, we ain't gonna let you pass this bar. He's not crazy. Watch how he breaks this shit down, how they do it. It's the same shit we tell you guys they're doing to us. Like, we're not crazy and making this shit up like, oh, people are following us, and everywhere I go, somebody's following us without fucking showing you guys what the fuck. I mean, God, look at the fucking one headlight said follow me, man. Come on. Use your common sense. I'm telling you they're doing this to me, and I'm showing you that they're doing. You're seeing these one headlights. Back to back to back to back. I'm telling you they're using directed energy weapon. You think I'm going to sit here and lie? Like, I'm not doing this to be monetized. I have no incentive to sit here and fucking lie about what I'm going through and show you guys what they're doing to me and my dogs while I show you on video. I'm showing you guys the people who have fucking actually killed people behind this shit. I'm showing you how they get on the news and show you how to say that these people are crazy, have mental illnesses. They use Neighborhood Watch to fucking get on the news and say bad shit about you. I mean, people gotta open their eyes and wake up, man. People gotta open up their eyes and fucking wake up, man, because we're going through this. This is a silent war that we're going through. And, when we try and tell people, they act like, because the program is designed to make you look like you have a mental illness. First thing people think when you say people are following you is that you're crazy. So when you're saying people are following you and harassing you and all this shit, and people are thinking like regular normal fucking people aren't doing, normal people aren't doing, like, this is Neighborhood Watch. It's a group, like, these people, there's a Neighborhood Watch in every fucking neighborhood damn near in your city. So think about how big that is. And they're connected from city to fucking city. So when you try and get away from this shit and go to a different city, that police department and that Neighborhood Watch gets fucking, it's like they're sleepers and shit. It's like they're fucking sleepers and shit. That's why I say this, and this from city to city, from state to state. You feel me? And it's got people fucking killing people, man. And it's designed like that because, okay, if one person kills somebody out here, and somebody kills somebody way out there, you feel me? We can cover it up a lot more easier. If a lot of people kill people out here, we can cover it up, but it's only, people are going to catch on. But, this fucking shit is so big, you got people, and some people don't know they're in this program. Some people know they're in this program and they just don't document this shit. So when something happens to them or they do something to somebody, they can cover it up. You feel me? And that's what they've done with a lot of us and shit. Like this brother right here.
individuals. The first one I want to talk about is called anchoring. Basically, with anchoring, and this will sound very strange the way I explain this, but you have what's called control panel stalkers. These are the people who are basically in an operations center, monitoring all the targeted individuals throughout the United States of America. And then you have street level stalkers. These are the people that they actually employ to interact with targeted individuals on a day-to-day basis. But with anchoring, they will set up situations and scenarios to try to convince the targeted individual that a particular person or a particular group is the one that's actually harassing them. For example, I've heard targeted individuals say that they thought everybody in the fire department was out to get them. In my particular scenario, what they do for me is most of the people who harass me and interact with me are wearing sunglasses and stuff like that, very, very dark sunglasses, and they'll make their presence very known. They'll look at me in weird ways to try to make me paranoid or arouse fear in me or something like that.
This is a lawyer, ladies and gentlemen. He's telling you exactly what they do to us. Like, they don't, well, I haven't taken notice to that type of harassment where they put sunglasses on and just stare at me like that. But they, they probably do it from a distance and all that weird shit. But, like, this is his harassment. This is how they had the harassment catered to him, or had it catered to him.
But also, one thing that they did with me is try to convince me that my neighbors were the ones who were actually harassing me. When I would be in my apartment at night, and they were very successful at this for about 2 months. 2 months before I realized that I was actually a targeted individual, or what a targeted individual even was. I would hear voices in my apartment explaining what it was that I was doing. If I went to the kitchen, they'd say stuff, oh, he's headed to the kitchen now. Or if I went to the bathroom, they'd like, oh, he's headed to the bathroom. And this sounds bad, but one particular time I didn't wash my hands, I was like, look at him. He doesn't even wash his hands when I was in the bathroom after I used the bathroom. This is the type of stuff that they do. And because I'm hearing these voices, I'm thinking, oh my God, somebody is listening to me. And
this is fucking educational purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, and this brother went to a college and shot up the people. Well, he shot, I think. You guys got to research it yourself. But he ended up unaliving, I believe, or maybe nobody got hurt. You guys look it up. I didn't even want to, put this shit up, but I'm trying to show you guys, you feel me, like what we go through and like how we try and plead and tell you guys what we're going through and how these people are fucking doing us. And we're American citizens, man. We shouldn't have to be going through this shit. When there's real fucking terrorists out there again raping babies and eating babies and just doing the worst. Trafficking. They're fucking harassing us, and we're fucking at best, any of us would be petty criminals. We're not no type of fucking terrorists that they should be watching and hounding and harassing like this. When this brother unfortunately killed himself, or he got himself killed by the police, he knew it was gonna happen. But unfortunately, you've been going through this shit for so fucking long. You feel me? That he couldn't get help, and you'll see. He'll explain how he tried to fucking, plead to the police and tell them like to help him, and they just, brush him off. Are you on medication? Are you? Why would these people want to follow you? Because they know you can't answer those questions. Those are fucking trick fucking questions. I mean, you can answer the medication one, but you can't answer no fucking Do you know these people and why would they want to fucking follow you? You can answer, do you know them, but you can't. Why would they want to follow? I don't know. And then right after you say, I don't know, then you're the crazy one. And the police, they conduct this fucking program. But they're gaslighting you, trying to make you think you're the crazy one.
And naturally, you think that it's the person closest to you. So I thought it was my neighbors above me that somehow they had installed a video camera in my apartment. And I realized that later that wasn't the case, but I'll explain in the video later exactly what that is that gave me that false belief. The next method they use that I want to talk about is called brighting. Brighting can be very irritating, and it sounds just like what it is. When you're driving on the road, for example, a person may flash their bright lights in your face. Like when you're oncoming traffic, people will have their bright lights on you. Now, it's not unusual, obviously.
Again, you guys seen plenty of these videos that I've on my channel. There's plenty of these motherfucking vehicles fucking bright me, behind me with bright ass lights, behind me with one light just hella fucking bright and the other one dim as hell. That type of shit.
To experience somebody with their bright lights on you, I mean, it's not unusual at all. People often forget, that their brights are on when they're riding at night. And then, you just give them that quick flash and they'll flick it back to the regular dimmer lights. But with brighting, if you give them that quick flash, they don't actually click it back to the regular dimmer lights. They'll keep on the bright lights. And this is not something, it's not like a one-time occurrence. This, you expect to have something like that on a long trip happen once or twice. Just
you hear that? You expect to have that type of shit. You expect to have once or twice. One headlight vehicles, yeah, once or twice, maybe 3 times. It's normal. It's fucking normal. I give somebody that. Like I'm not, I'm not that fucking paranoid. I think I see fucking one headlight vehicle that I think fucking everybody in the fucking world is following me and shit. But when I'm seeing 30 and 40 in a fucking day and most of them is behind me and shit, and I have to hop out the vehicle to go get their fucking faces and shit, and they giving me creepy smiles and shit, how would I not know that I'm being harassed? And that's that little subtle shit that they try and pass over and make you look crazy and shit. But when you can get patterns of that shit and people see the patterns of that shit, I mean, I would think that a person would have common sense enough. Like, we're showing you guys so fucking much, like, while they're killing us and shit, like, with these directed energy weapons, with the psychological warfare. Because believe it or not, the psychological warfare, it breaks you fucking down. It breaks you down mentally, physically, like you're always on your toes. You sleep with one, I do. You sleep with one fucking eye open and it's just fucking, it's treacherous, man. It's treacherous. And because I know, like, and everybody should know, that police kill people, they do bad shit to people, and they get away with it. Because they're up under their fucking brotherhood, for one, and then most of them are fucking Freemasons and shit, so they're all fucking protected. And that's why whenever they do something to somebody, 9 times out of 10, most of them get off. It's almost like it's an initiation for them and shit to do it. Get off with pay after you do it, come back on, and, hey, you're a cop again. You got one under your belt, buddy. And people always be like, oh, the police have a hard job to do, give them a break. Yeah, look at them harassing American citizens to the point of suicide and murder. That's a hard fucking job, huh? Getting a fat paycheck, that's a hard job.
Because that's what happens, it's happenstance. But this will happen like 10 times in one short trip. not only with oncoming traffic, but people will come up behind you and basically when they're tailgating you and they have their bright lights on, individuals will come up really quickly and pass you. And then as they're passing you, they'll flick their bright lights on so they're shining your side mirrors and stuff like that. That's brighting. Brighting takes another form as well. When you're in your home, individuals will shine bright lights into the windows of your home. For example, they might pull up in your driveway and shine very bright lights into the door and windows of your home.
They can't shine bright lights here, so on a couple different occasions, you guys see how they do come out here at like 1 in the morning, playing their music real loud, fucking with the light, because the light at the top right there is a LED light, so they have some type of control that makes it click on and off, and then, because they do it, they play with it all the time. When I'm out there, they'll make it flick off and on, and then when I'm coming in the house, they'll make it stop flicking, and it'll just stop, the light will be just shining, like the light will be on, like it won't be flicking no more. So they do little bullshit games like that. That's the type of harassment we have to go through.
Again, it's not unusual for that type of thing to happen. People do get lost and have to turn around, but this will happen several times in one night. And basically, that's just their way of letting you know that they are present and that it's a way of harassment that, your mind can never.
Listen to what he's saying. This is what I go through with the one headlight. This is what a lot of, remember, this is lore as well. Keep that in mind. But when I go through this one headlight bullshit all the time, listen to what he says. This is probably going to be like, I don't know. It's to let you know that they're present. It's to keep you in hyper state. Like for me, like whenever they get behind me, like, I'm not triggered by that shit, but I'm always on my toes because I know they're fucking trying to do something and trying to set some shit up, whether it's a traffic accident, whether they're trying to trigger paranoia in me and shit, or whatever. Like, once that shit, like, I'm always, like, very aware, and my mind is never at ease because I'm always thinking, like, okay, what are they gonna try? What are they gonna do this time? Like, I'm always just like, I'm on my toes, and he's gonna explain that shit right here. And this is with the one headlights for me. For him, it's the brighten.
Behind you, and basically when they're tailgating you and they have their bright lights on, individuals will come up really quickly and pass you, and then as they're passing you, they'll flick their bright lights on so they're shining your side mirrors and stuff like that. That's brighting. Brighting takes another form as well. When you're in your home, individuals will shine bright lights into the windows of your home. For example, they might pull up in your driveway and shine very bright lights into the door and windows of your home. It's not unusual for that type of thing to happen. People do get lost and have to turn around.
All right, pay attention to what he's about to say. I'm sorry I keep stopping it and shit, but I'm trying to get you guys to see, like, relate this shit to the one headlights that you see following me for fucking years, for years, that I have posted up just on the shorts.
But this will happen several times in one night. And basically, that's just their way of letting you know that they are present and that it's a way of harassment that, your mind can never really be at ease. Your mind can never, you'll always be paranoid because, there's always somebody there to interact with you.
That's manufactured paranoia, ladies and gentlemen. It's not nothing from our birth if we do have a mental illness. Because I'm not going to say, like, there's nothing wrong with my mental behind this program. Like, I'm going to be 100% real. Like, I might do have a mental illness, but it's not nothing like what you would think. This is a manufactured type of shit. It's more of an anxiety paranoia type of thing, scared or what these people are gonna do to me. Like I've already fucking accepted the fact that they're gonna do something to me. That's why I let people know all the time that I'm not suicidal and I don't take drugs that I can OD from. I'm content with the fact because I'm not gonna stop trying to expose this shit. These people have been going hard on me and my fucking, oh shit. I refuse to fucking let these people get away with this shit and just not fucking expose it the best way I can and ask God to guide me through fucking trying to expose this shit. I don't care. As long as I leave a trail of videos behind on different platforms, they can do whatever they want. Like, these videos are to reach out to people and let people know what's going on. Like, I'm not trying to force nobody to believe me. I'm showing you guys and I'm explaining it to you. And he's explaining it to you better. He's a lawyer. He can break it down a little bit better than me. So I'm playing his video and I'm comparing it to what I'm going through because it all triangulated. Like, it all relates. Like, they have skits for every single fucking person that they harass. So, like I said, I get no incentives for this shit. I get no incentives. So if if and when they do something to me, I'll have enough videos out to where at least if somebody's going through this shit and don't know what they're going through, they might hit one of my videos and be like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is what I'm going through. Fuck everything else. That's the first objective. Period, point blank. That's the first objective. Is to fucking reach out to those who don't know what they're going through because they're being set up. They're getting themselves convicted. They're unaliving people and doing themselves in because, the police run this fucking program. And you make a police report, you get detwerked with a mental illness evaluation. They talk to you like you're crazy and gaslight you. Watch a couple years from now, 3 or 4 years, it'll come out. Police tell you, oh yeah, we've been doing this, but they'll try and sugarcoat it. They won't mention how many murders were fucking committed behind the program and shit. They'll just fucking tell people it worked. Yeah, it worked. Make some lie up and make a couple big ass fucking cover story on it. These motherfuckers is evil, man. Evil. Fucking evil. I swear, man, this brother lost his life so people could fucking, in Neighborhood Watch, could have fucking boats and Teslas. Police officers getting advances and shit. Everybody getting bigger budgets. Once one of us flip out, police fucking stations and jails getting paid big off the people that they're setting up. Having people talk to them derogatory. Just like they did Cat Williams. I don't know if you guys remember, like Cat Williams was being targeted for a minute and shit. They was using kids on him. They had some kids jump on him. And then magically the news appeared. Magically the news appeared out of nowhere. So they do shit like that to set you up. And they were doing it to Cat Williams for a while. I remember he was in Sacramento. And they had one of the store people say something about his kid or some shit. Something really fucked up. And, they got him to slap him. People, I don't know if he knew what he was going through at the time or not. But they fucking got him to slap the dude for, saying whatever derogatory shit that he said about, yeah. So it's the same fucking people. The same fucking people that did that shit to him is the same people that do it to us. This is a big criminal organization. We know what we're going through. We break down what we're going. It's not like we're just saying, you know, people are following us and, you know, we don't have any type of essence to what the fuck we're saying. Like, a lot of us have proof behind what we're talking about and what we're saying. These neighbors right here, constant harassment. You guys can see. Like, I put plaques back in the, I cover up broken plaques in the fence. I come back outside, there's 5 more fucking plaques broken out the fucking fence. So I can't let my dogs go in the backyard. Because my dogs run in their backyard, then they're fucking by law able to do whatever they want to my dog. And then, you know, just to fuck with me, they'll do something to my fucking dog because my dog was in their property. So these are the types of fucking games and how you gotta be on your fucking toes at all times and shit when you're dealing with this fucking neighborhood watch criminal organization that's working with the police.
In these strange ways to arouse fear in you and not let your mind be at ease.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? To arouse fear out of you and never let your mind be at ease. Just the one headlight vehicles that follow me 24/7, you should be able to correlate that with what he just said. And keep in mind that this is a lawyer. Or was a lawyer.
The next method that they utilize in gang stalking is what I would call a noise campaign. This can be just as irritating as biting.
Okay, what he's talking about, like the noise campaign, you'll see with the neighbors here, you'll hear them, like you'll see on videos how they have shit to bang and make loud noises. I've been outside doing lives, and when you hear that loud banging and shit, it's because they broke the gate, and then they propped the wood against the gate, so when the wind blows, it bangs right here by where I sleep, and I get that. They rig shit up like that, and that's called a noise campaign.
The targeted individual is subjected to a constant bout of noise that is never ending. It's designed to keep the targeted individual on edge. It happens at all times of the day, and it's exacerbated at nighttime. I mean, it's really, really bad at nighttime because the goal is to keep.
It's really bad at nighttime. So out here the wind blows, and when that board was hanging on the fence like that, you feel me? It was smacking. It would smack on the. It would smack like that, and you guys have heard it in my videos. I think I was doing a live once, and somebody asked me what that was, but it would smack and be hella loud. That's what he's talking about. It did it here all night because the wind would fucking blow like crazy. So that's all I heard when it's just smacking.
The target individual from getting sleep, which is what human beings need. We naturally need sleep for our body's natural restoration. So the goal is to prevent you from sleeping so that you'll be anxious and agitated and edgy. And basically just your stress hormones will be through the roof. And
if a person is anxious, agitated, you feel me, had no sleep, on top of harassment and shit, like us that know what we're going through, we just try and document it and show you guys. But the person that doesn't know what they're going through, they got all these feelings. They've been fucking noise campaign. People are following them around. You feel me? They're not getting no sleep because they're doing noise campaigns and shit. And then they give somebody a gift card, like they give a homeless person, a gift card to come say some crazy shit to you. It's all a fucking setup, you guys. I swear. And it's neighborhood watching the police department doing it to people. So they'll give a homeless person a gift card to fucking go walk by you and say something, let air out your tire, hoping that you catch that person and you go confront that person and you be all talking all crazy and shit, and while they're fucking filming you. And then sometimes you don't just talk crazy. Sometimes, an assault occurs. And then you get locked up and you don't even know what you're going through. You don't even know it was a setup by the police department and neighborhood watch. All you know is that somebody walked up to you and said some crazy ass shit. People have fucking been harassing you just out of nowhere. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? You feel me? You're not able to get sleep. And you got noise campaigns going on. And it's just like, you do something. Now you do something, you get locked up and the police department gets paid every single fucking day that you're locked up. It's a cash cow. They're doing this shit for money. You feel me? They get budgets for this. You feel me? They get extra little money from the people that lock up. Different organizations and shit get budgets. You feel me? Target, Ross, fucking, when you research this shit, if any of you care to, because, I don't care whether you do or don't. I'm trying to reach the people really. I'm trying to reach the people really trying to, see if this is a real program or if we're crazy or if this shit, with some of the videos, I'm not going to say I'm the best fucking targeted individual. I'm not going to say I'm the best targeted individual that's out there. Or we're all fucking equal and shit. And how you do what you do is how you do what you do. But I know for a fact, you feel me? Most of the videos that I put up there and I upload, because there's been some in the past that were kind of scattered, but you could tell it was some type of harassment going on. I don't upload a video unless, I can show you the fucking harassment pretty much. And maybe I have in the past. I'm not gonna say, like I said, I'm not perfect, but I know I have enough videos up to show fucking undeniable harassment. Everything this brother right here that lost his life to this fucking program is speaking about, you can correlate that to my fucking harassment from just the one headlights. You look at any other real targeted individual's channel, you'll see they go through the same thing, but maybe in a different aspect of it. A lot of us have undeniable evidence and people brush it off. You could be next. Your family member could be next. And they're just gonna get away with it. You're gonna get big budgets. Every time one of us flip out from a different state, you're gonna get big budgets and, the fucking program continues. And for those who think this shit isn't state to state and, you guys are really just crazy and you guys just fucking think everybody's after you, huh? Look up Fusion Center. Use your little pretty fingers and type that shit in. And research fusion centers and see what they do. We've been telling you for years to look up fusion centers and shit. But I guess that sounds too fucking galactic for you guys. Or I don't know what the fuck. Like, people don't know how to use their brains these days. And I'm not no hell of a motherfucker. I never graduated. None of that shit, so I'm not better than anybody. But just means that nobody knows how to use their brain these days.
which only exacerbates those feelings of paranoia and fear and stuff like that. So how do they do that? Again, well, the particular ways that I've experienced and that I've heard other targeted individuals talk about is like there'll be loud music all around them, like from their neighbors and stuff like that.
He's saying loud music from the neighbors. Like I said, you guys see when they came like 1 a.m. those couple times with the music hella fucking loud using directed conversation. That's what he's talking about right now.
Cars will be passing by constantly at very rapid paces, making noises and blowing their car horns and stuff like that. Your neighbors around you will be screaming and talking loudly. This can be really...
You guys hear my neighbors doing that shit all the time. I step out to smoke a cigarette, they step out and start talking hella loud. Or start talking about shit that I've done. Like you see, like I came back with a hamburger, and I was eating my hamburger, and you see they came talking hella loud and said, I want to eat my hamburger. You got all that hamburger? They said something, but you guys heard it. That's the type of shit he's talking about.
Irritating if you live in an apartment complex. And the craziest tactic that they use to generate noise is they do it through machine-generated sounds. Things like fake dogs barking or chickens crowing. And
you guys be here. You guys are gonna be seeing. You guys watch. You guys see. Like I step outside and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, fucking, there's all types of dogs barking. Like one dog barking, okay, yeah, that's normal. But like 5 or 6 dogs coming from different directions and shit, like, you know, those are fake dog barks, like being done with keyboards and shit like that. Like, and that's, you know, that's the type of shit they do. I mean, it's really a psychological bullshit game. And, you know, the average person, and I can understand that, this would say, like, why would all these different people fucking be doing this to you? Not realizing that it's neighborhood watch and that they're all together. It's the police, it's neighborhood watch, so they're all fucking connected. It's not everybody, but it's everybody in neighborhood watch. You know, and most of the people that aren't in neighborhood watch, you know, those are people who get the incentives from neighborhood watch. You know, whether it's gift cards, whether it's clothes, you know, whatever they can get to use to convince that person to harass you, that's what they do. And you guys have seen a couple of my videos where, you know, I've done interviews. Well, I call them interviews, where I just walk up to them and try and catch them in lies and shit and get them to slip up. And, you know, they'll, some of them are, you know, some of them, because they get anybody to do it. So, you know, some of them just ain't smart like that. And if you can conversate with them the right way, you can get them to slip up. And a couple of them have slipped up. You know what I mean? A couple. You guys see that shit. You guys see that shit. And they're so cocky, man. They're just cocky, man. They get themselves caught. Like, why would you be driving down? Like, I'm doing videos every fucking day. And showing people that this fucking, I'm telling people that this fucking program and these one headlights is putting me in fight or flight. They continue to do it. You know, I've been stabbed by a person coming out of one of these vehicles. What the fuck, like, you know, this is already, I've already had a very traumatic experience with a vehicle with one headlight. And you continue to fucking do this to me and put my mind you know, in fight or flight. And knowing that I hop out every fucking time they get behind me so I could get their face in case something happens to me. You know, and I have a record of that shit. When you see that I'm not letting that shit get to me, to a point to where I'm not flipping out and, you know, doing something to make myself look crazy or causing harm to myself or somebody else, and not falling for the setup. You feel me? You see, I'm not falling for the setup, so you send somebody to drive by the house with fucking one headlight, no? Like, you're constantly trying to put me in fight or flight. Like, why are you trying to create crime? Like, why are you trying to create a criminal out of me? Like, why are you trying to get me to act out of my nature? Like, you feel me? I did something so fucking bad that you're trying to get me to kill somebody or unalive somebody, which is not gonna happen. But like, why are you trying to get me to do that though? Knowing that it potentially could happen, like there's a possibility. Like, well, there is not a possibility. Let me take that, let me take that back. Statistically, there's a possibility that a person that's going through this for as long as I have, with the traumatic experience that I have, you know, using common sense would say, like, driving by that person's house with a fucking creepy smile, with one headlight, with your child in the car, common sense would say that's probably not a good idea. Whether I'm gonna do something or not, which I would not, but I'm just saying, whether I'm gonna do something or not, whether you think I'm gonna do something or not, whether whoever told you that, don't worry about him, he's not a violent person, because I've been letting this shit go for so long, and I've been dealing with it, and, you know, taking the punches. Oh, don't worry about him. He's not even, don't worry about him. I don't give a fuck who told me that. If he was from, you know, you're not God. And anybody who is not God cannot tell me to fucking ride by somebody's fucking house who has been harassed for over 15 years, damn near 17. Just ride by his house. Oh, he's been stabbed by somebody who got out of one headlight vehicle, but we've been doing this to him for all these years. We want you to drive by his house now. Then go ahead and do it with your kid. There ain't no money in the world worth that. So, you know, I know there'd be fucking, I don't know. And these people, I'm not gonna say it's a rich neighborhood, because you got scumbags over here too, but, you know, people, this is I would say it's not an upper class neighborhood, but it's not, I would say it's a little bit more above, just a little bit above middle class. I would say it's a little bit above middle class. So these people, you know, for the most part, should not even be worried about money to harass somebody. But again, it's the greed. You got people that want Lexuses. You got these little fucking, you know, they got their kids in on it too. They're little teenagers and fucking, you know, semi-adults and shit that want their little fucking rice rocket cars, the little fucking Fast and Furious type of, you know, them loud fucking cars that they use on us. So they want that bullshit. So they get that. With the budgets that they get kicked for this fucking program, you know, for the budgets they get kicked for our misery and shit, for our sanity, they can get that, them little Rice rockets and them Teslas and them big macho trucks and boats and shit. They can get all that with the budgets they get. Because they really don't have to get no money. They really don't have to spend no money for when they want to eat and all that shit. They got, you know, they're sponsored, so they got gift cards for fucking Ross. They don't have to pay for nothing. They can put all that extra shit towards their little new toys and shit for harassing us to the point of suicide and murder. Cooking us with directed energy weapons and shit. Keeping the fucking police department's dirty little secret. Teaching people to kill people. But hey, I'm just somebody going through this shit like a lot of other people. There's a lot of other people going through this. I'm not the only one, and that's the sad thing. Like, the sad thing is I'm not gonna be the last. Nope. There's a lot more coming up. Watch, you guys are gonna notice, for those who don't know nothing about being a targeted individual. You know, these videos are, hopefully somebody just pops up on here. And like, damn, I've been going through that same shit. You mean to tell me the police been sending me up this whole fucking time? Some places in the world, they call that entrapment. I call it domestic terrorism because they do it over and over and over and over, trying to create a situation to where you act out of your character and, you know, out of fight or flight, out of fucking just being out of your mind from being harassed and fucking sleep deprived and directed weapons used on you and shit. Yeah, it's domestic terrorism, but a lot of people call it entrapment, where they try and create fucking scenes for you to fuck up. Not scenes, I'm sorry, scenarios. They try and create scenarios for you to fuck up and do something out of your character.
Duck calls and stuff like that, just really strange things to just constantly generate noise so that you can never really get relaxation as a targeted individual. And like I said, they accomplish these tasks by paying your neighbors, lying to your neighbors, telling them you did something wrong, and so their neighbors actually think that they're helping and stopping a crime or some sort of investigation or something like that, or they blackmail your neighbor.
See, he did this before people started realizing that it was neighborhood watch. So, you know, it's understandable for us to, and they do pay the people who aren't in neighborhood watch. Let me take that back. They do pay the people that aren't in neighborhood watch, but the ones that are in neighborhood watch, it's like salary to them. They get they get chunks of money for this shit.
If your neighbors actually have done something wrong or something like that. My personal experiences with a noise campaign, I want to talk about a little bit about that. The one I want to talk about most is the one that made me actually realize that I was a targeted individual. after experiencing so much harassment in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where I was living at the time for a while, I decided I was going to go to Houston just to get away from for a while. I had several friends in Houston. That's where I used to live and where I used to work. So I went to go visit my friend Kimberly Snag, and while I was in Houston, I was staying in Kimberly's mom's house, which is in Fifth Ward, a real quiet neighborhood, mostly old people, residential area. But while I was there, every 10 minutes, cars would be flying down the street, just flying down the street, making at rapid paces, making loud noise. And about every 30 minutes or so, I would hear car horns, like people blowing their car horns. And the goal was obviously to keep me under the noise campaign and not really get to relax. And the strangest thing, and this is the thing that really piqued my mind to, hey, there's something more going on here. This is kind of crazy. Behind the house, I kept hearing this strange cock-a-doodle-doo noise of like a rooster. But it was the same cock-a-doodle-doo without any variation to it. So it was obvious that it was like a machine and it wasn't a real rooster.
That's like when you guys see me go outside to smoke a cigarette. Every time I go out there, you hear that cuckoo, that little, that little cuckoo thing. It sounds like a little machine thing. That's what he's talking about. But they used a rooster on him.
And on top of that, it was like from 2 to, it was nonstop, but I noticed it when it was like from 2 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, which is kind of atypical for a rooster to be crowing nonstop from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And this went on for several days because I stayed in Kim's mom's house for like 3 or 4 days. And it went on for several days, the cars and the rooster and all that. And that's the thing that really made me realize, you know what, something more is going on here than, you know, me just having these bad experiences in like Las Cruces. And when I was in Houston, people continued to follow me around in like stores and stuff like that too, and really make their presence felt. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. Some of the other noise campaign experiences I had when I was in Las Cruces,
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is educational purposes only. This right here is a little lawyer, whatever that is, for your certificate for being a lawyer. Look, that brother was a lawyer, a very smart man. You have to be smart to become a lawyer. I mean, that's what I thought. You had to be smart to become a lawyer. So he's breaking this shit down, and he's explaining it to you in a fucking, very sane state. He's not all over the place. And some of us, we go through this shit and we can't really break it down because our head is so fucking fucked up with, we're just tired of this shit and we're trying to fucking, we're trying to tell the fucking world pretty much what we're going through. And in doing so, some of us don't explain ourselves pretty well. And, that's why, because I have to slow down all the time, and just think about what I'm going to say, because when I say that, if because they do so much to us that if you try and explain everything at once, you sound crazy. And that's completely understandable. I understand why people think we sound crazy, and it's not really adding up because we're all over the place, and it's just the way the program is designed. We're supposed to, we're supposed to have all this heavy anxiety and, you know, paranoia. And, you know, we're explaining to people while we're looking over our shoulders and shit. I know I've been a victim of that so many times, just trying to fucking express to people this shit is real. Like, you know, I let people get up under my skin plenty of occasions. I've learned not to do that now, but, you know, when I was first going through this shit, like, people, you know, they have their little antagonizers and shit, so you get on here and you try to tell your story and people fucking, you know, how do you know you're going through? They do the same thing. The police teach them the whole gaslighting. The police teach them the whole gaslighting shit, so they get on here with the gaslighting. How do you know? People always have one headlight, or people have their fucking headlamp is not allowed to burn out in their car if that makes them a criminal. Like, they say shit like that. You know, and try and make you doubt yourself. Try and make the people, you know, try and make the people that you're trying to explain this to fucking doubt you and think you're crazy and shit. They start questioning you, and it's just a whole mind fuck the way this program is designed, and it's sad, man. It's sad that people are killing people behind it, or unaliving people behind this. It's very sad, man. And like I said, you guys, like, I'm trying to do any and all fucking interviews on anybody's fucking platform. You feel me? I have the science and the videos and everything to back everything I'm saying. I can prove beyond reasonable doubt that the tactics these people used are making people kill people or unalive people and unalive themselves. And all you would have to do is put yourself in that person's shoes and use your common sense. Put yourself in that person's shoes. And imagine you not even knowing that you're in this program. Like, we know that we're in this program, but imagine if you're not knowing that you're in this program and these people are doing this to you. What would you do if the police aren't helping you and they're acting like they're not even a part of it? They're acting like you're the crazy one. So anytime you try and make a police report, they ask you if you're on medication, or, you know, do you want to hurt yourself or anybody else? And then they come with the humdinger, if you will. Are you willing to take a mental evaluation? We'll take a report if you're willing to do a mental evaluation. Okay. So what does that leave the targeted individual, especially the one that doesn't know he's in this program? What does that lead them to do? Just to get peace, though. To get fucking peace from this fucking program and these directed energy weapons. Like the brother in Kentucky did. Killed his fucking neighbors. Or unalive his neighbor. We know what these people are using on us. We're not telling you like some futuristic, well, it does sound kind of futuristic, directed energy weapons, but we're not telling you anything that they're using against me that there are that they're using against us, that there aren't patents out there for, that there aren't whistleblowers coming out and saying that they're using this on fucking American citizens. I don't know, man. Some people will never get it. Some people will. Those are the only people I aim to reach. I don't give a fuck about who don't get it no more. I don't even care about that shit. I only care about who gets it. Those are the people that count. Anybody else is fucking irrelevant. Yeah, so here we go. You see fellow brother T.I.'s and sister T.I.'s fucking dropping like flies that you've built some type of fucking report with, if you will. And not that you know them personally and, you grew up together or none of that shit, but you've established friendships along the years behind this program. You guys reach out to each other and fucking, you help each other through this shit. Just imagine how many of us fucking have. And I've seen a lot of us just fucking flip out, take out their harassers and themselves as well, assault people. And just commit suicide. A lot of us fall victim to this program, and it fucks me up every fucking time to see the fucking police get on the news and fucking say that we had the mental illness. Use their little fucking neighborhood watch goons to fucking lie on you, so they could keep their little greedy ass budget going. And being a targeted individual, you know this shit. You know exactly what's going on. And, it's like you've been trying to explain it to people for so many years. And other people, like we fucking, like this brother right here, like, you feel me? We pretty much plead with the public to look into this shit. That they're doing this to us. And like we just get labeled crazy, and we watch each other just fall and fall victim to this program. Whether it's like, fuck it, I can't take it no more. And rightfully so, a lot of us have the mind state to where like, I'm not just going to take myself out. I'm going to take all the harassers I can with me. I'm not fucking, fuck that shit. I know that's how I would be. If I was going to do it, it wouldn't be some fucking homeless person that they fucking gave a gift card to. Like, I'm not fucking that naive and stupid to fucking... It's not even that person's fault. That person damn near probably do anything for a fucking gift card, $20 gift card to get something to eat. And fucking, he's just getting set up, or she's just getting set up in the process as well. That $20 is gonna make the police department fucking so much money if they can get you to assault him or do something worse. The money they get for you a day for being in jail, that little 20 gift card ain't shit. That's like, in a drug gang, that would be like $20 for $1,000 worth of dope. Like shit. That's a no fucking brainer. So yeah, they are not losing at all if they can get you to assault somebody. It's fucked up, man. But yeah, we'll continue.
Neighbors were constantly making noise. I lived in this apartment complex, Pearl Ridge Apartments, for a year and a half, and I never had any issues with noise. But in the last few months that I was there, it was constantly noise around me. My neighbors were constantly playing loud music, constantly talking loud and screaming and stuff like that. And one particular night, the neighbor above me was playing music really, really loud. So I didn't want to be that neighbor that complains on everyone. So what I did was I just put some earplugs in my ear and tried to nestle in and go to sleep. Shortly after I put these earplugs in my ear, my bed actually is on the wall adjoining one of my neighbors, the neighbor that was behind me. And the headboard is literally on that adjoining wall. As soon as I put the earplugs in, I started hearing these extremely loud sex sounds. Now, mind you, I've lived here a year and a half. I've slept in my apartment a year and a half, and I've never heard any noises come out of this apartment, sex or otherwise. But on this particular night,
on a couple of my videos, you guys will hear them making sex noises. Like this is when I'm like, living in my van and shit. Like that, that I be parked, like I try and get to, quiet areas and shit. And you see them do weird shit, like they do sexual weird shit as well. Like you'll hear them fucking make sexual noises. Like you guys have seen them fucking streak me and shit. Running down the street butt naked and fucking coming to knocking on my window with fucking car window with no clothes on and shit. Like, it's fucking just, that type of shit. Weirdos. Like, these are like the real fucking sex offenders, like doing sex offender shit.
well, I'd heard for those few months, I heard music and stuff like that, and loud talking and screaming. But on this particular night, as soon as I put the earplugs in, these loud sex sounds just started coming out of nowhere. So that kind of let me know, okay, this is part of this stupid harassment that I'm experiencing. And another noise campaign experience I had, this one is particularly bad and particularly devastating because it's actually from a family friend, and that was very hurtful. But I was staying at my friend Monica Johnson's home with her family. And I think I know why they participated in my stalking. And I hate to spill the beans on anybody, but this is kind of my last words. But her husband Marshall smokes marijuana, and so I think honestly that they were blackmailed into participating in my stalking on some sort of fear that he would, face criminal prosecution for marijuana possession or marijuana use or something like that. But what happened while I was there is that, and this wasn't the first time I stayed in their home, by the way, so this is completely atypical. But while I was there, everyone was talking really, really loudly and screaming at all hours of the night. There were 3 TVs on in the house, and they were on full blast, just blaring. I was trying to sleep on the couch in the living room, and Monica and Marshall's bedroom is actually downstairs. They had their TV on in the bedroom, and it was just blaring on full blast. And then at about 3 a.m., Monica came out the room, walked outside, and then came back in, slammed the door, was screaming at the top of her lungs about how her daughter Brittany's red SUV had just been repossessed because she missed a payment. And it was so strange because I don't know how she could have heard from where she was at in the house any car come up and any tow truck come up to repossess the car, because I actually would have had a better vantage point, and there's nothing wrong with my hearing, to have heard a tow truck. I heard no tow truck whatsoever, but what I did hear was her making all sorts of noise, basically to try to keep me from relaxing and getting any sleep that particular night. The next harassment technique I want to talk about is ghosting. And this isn't actually one that I experienced, but other targeted individuals, when you watch their videos, they'll talk about it and you'll get to hear their stories. But basically, this is where they will rearrange a targeted individual's personal belongings. For example, might break into their house, which in and of itself is wrong. They'll break into their house, rearrange their furniture, or rearrange.
And see, that's what I mean. That's what they do here and shit. Like, I have no way of showing you guys that or anything like that, so I don't really mention it because I can't really. All I can do is tell you guys, and I can't really back that. But they do that. Like, when I leave, they'll come in here, and that's another reason why I feel like they're gonna do something to me eventually, whether it's poisoning food or shit like that, because they know, like, I'm just gonna, as hard as they're going on me, is as hard as I'm gonna fucking go on fucking this document and shit. Like, damn near 17, like, I'm tired of this shit for real. Like, just knowing that I'm not gonna do nothing, knowing that I haven't done nothing to be on this watch list, like, it just fucking, the average person, understandably, like, this will break your fucking spirit, and fucking, they start doing tactics like using directed energy weapons on you heavier, and doing shit with trauma and triggers, and pulling up in front of your house with one headlights, and the shit just. And then, let me take that back. This is not my house, but this is where I'm staying right now for a while. And for them to pull up on me like that in front of where I'm staying, and knowing that I'm already traumatized, and they've been going through this shit for so long, like, I know eventually they're gonna, something's gonna happen. And they're gonna get on TV and they're gonna lie about it. They're gonna say I had a mental illness. They're gonna, say I had an anger problem. Say I OD'd, which I don't do no drugs to OD off of. So any of that and all of that, if you hear it, will be a lie. But, that's I know they're gonna do something to me. So that's why I do the videos. I try and go harder. I'm gonna start going harder and documenting, like, every time I hop in the fucking truck and leave, I'm just gonna leave the fucking camera on and narrate the shit and show you guys. Hopefully it's only people with common sense, because if you don't have common sense, like I said, I can't say it enough. This is not the channel for you to be on. And really, the only piece of common sense you would have to have is just putting yourself in my shoes and every other targeted individual's shoes. But you know, as I'm showing you, like, you know, just put yourself in my shoes and ask yourself if you was going through this. Educate yourself on psychological triggers and tell me that the vehicles that creep by slowly with creepy smiles after I've been stabbed by somebody coming out of a one headlight vehicle, and this isn't a story that I'm making up. All this is documented. You feel me? I didn't describe the fucking lady who fucking did it, which I fucking, you know, I should have. But I was still stuck in that fucking, you know, mental fucking bullshit about being a snitch. I don't want to be no fucking snitch and shit. So I didn't document her description or anything. But I did document that fucking vehicle had one headlight, the vehicle she came from. So that's documented, ladies and gentlemen. So I got proof that backs up that this is what, like 15 years ago. I was stabbed by somebody who came out of a vehicle with one headlight. And the most recent one headlight vehicle you seen creeping up on me in front of the house as I pulled up was what, like a day ago? Yesterday, I believe. This shit hasn't stopped because you guys continue to see me videoing them and recording them and shit. You feel me? So just imagine a motherfucker that don't know what he's going through and he gotta deal with this creepy shit.
On their desk or in their bedroom. They'll actually rearrange lawn ornaments and stuff like that are in the yard. So when the targeted individual returns back to their home, they see that things are sort of out of place. And that obviously arouses fear and paranoia and apprehension and stuff like that to further exacerbate this evil, ungodly program that they participate in to try to harass targeted individuals. The next technique I want to talk about is called mimicry. This involves when a targeted individual encounters one of their stalkers, the stalker will actually do everything literally do everything, the same movements, same motions that the targeted individual does.
With me, they used to dress like, I know this sounds weird as fuck, but it's not, they don't do it so much now, but they'll probably start doing it now that I said that they don't do it so much. But they used to like wear the same clothes as me, like, you feel me? Say I had a New York hat on, they would send somebody by me with a New York hat with the same fucking colored pants, same colored shirt. And, you know, and it was real, it's real simple with me because I'm pretty plain. Like, I don't like all, when it comes to clothes, I don't like all that, like, flashy shit. I just like fucking, you know, a solid colored t-shirt, maybe with some type of fucking, you know, logo or some shit. And, you know, just, like, I'm not all flashy like that. So it was easy for them to fucking dress these fucking people up like me and shit, and they would just fucking do that shit constantly, especially like in the beginning of my targeting and shit. It's a head trip and shit that it throws you off.
It's very irritating, and these particular stalkers make their presence very known. I had this experience once when I was in Weewa at the Easy Serve gas station. I pulled into the gas station to pump some gas. And when I pulled in, this guy comes from behind the pump next to me, and he has on these dark sunglasses, really dark sunglasses, which is my particular stimuli that they've used in my stalking experience. But these really dark sunglasses, he looks at me, and then he starts waving his hands and moving his head to try to basically get my attention. Hey, I'm here. And I ignored him at first, And then I went to go start washing my window. So I'm washing the front window. As I start washing my front window, he starts washing his front window, and he's looking at me while he's washing his front window with these dark shades on. So then I move to the side window, and he moves to the side window, and he's looking at me with these dark shades on and washing his window. And it was really creepy. Everything I did, he did. But, you know, I ignored it. That's just one of the...
It's creepy. Like, I don't know how they fucking learn this creepy shit that they do. But the shit they do is so fucking creepy, man. Like, when you guys see them fucking riding by, like you seen the dude with the one headlight driving by the house, like the smile on his face, it was just like a sadistic, but a creepy, like, just creepy shit, man. Creepy.
Things that target individuals experiences this kind of harassment to try to make you frustrated or angry or paranoid or nervous, or, you know, start to kind of question, you know, what in the world is going on with me. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's nothing going on with me. I mean, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but one of power, one of love, and one of a sound mind. And I thank him for having a sound mind. I know that nothing is going on with me, and that it was absolutely just part of this evil, ungodly program. Next thing I want to talk about.
They got on the news and tried to make this brother sound like he was just some fucking mental case, and, you know, he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. People would never do this. And remember, this is a police orchestrated program. They're getting away with this shit. Calling people crazy after they flip out after the around-the-clock harassment. People following you with creepy-ass smiles and one headlights. But I'm mentally ill because I got these people following me around all day with one headlights and shit. And doing weird shit and saying weird shit. I'm just talking about me, but, you know, that's the same shit he's talking about.
Technique I want to talk about is called sensitization. And this one is pretty critical for the overall targeted individuals harassment program. This refers to basically, they want the targeted individual to associate a particular stimuli with their harassment. For example, whenever you're out in the public as a targeted individual, if you encounter people wearing blue baseball caps, you start to associate blue baseball caps with you being harassed. So that way, going forward, anytime you see a person in a blue baseball cap, you'll instantly think, is this person here to harass me? In my particular situation, they used dark sunglasses as my stimuli. And it worked very, very well at first. I got to the point where every time I saw someone in dark sunglasses, I would kind of freak out. I would be looking at them extra because I thought that person was there to harass me.
He was doing that with the glasses. I was doing that with the one headlight vehicles. You know, that put me in fight or flight for a real fucking long time. After I got stabbed, especially. That shit put me in fight or flight. You know, I was scared that I might have did something to somebody. Like I was gonna get myself in trouble for doing something to somebody. You know, I felt hopeless though. Like I felt hopeless because I reached out to the police. Like I did everything I was supposed to do. I reached out to the police. I reached out to the FBI. And I was running into brick walls. This is before I knew, like, it's the whole fucking damn near police department and shit. You know, back then I was thinking it was just like some rogue fucking cops and shit. And, you know, you could report this shit, but I'm telling you, it's the FBI, it's the fucking police. Like, when you're on this watch list, you get no help. You can't work. Some of us get jobs and shit. But for the most part, you know, and the ones that we do, the ones of us that do have jobs, you know, the perps do their damnedest to try and get them, you know, fired. And, you know, for those of us who have jobs, I'm not saying that it's like this with everybody, but it varies with state. Like in California, I think it's very hard for a targeted individual to get a job. Like, I can't get a job. Shit. And I work hard. Like, I'm a good worker. Like, I guarantee you I work harder than any of these perps do. I guarantee you that. But I can't get no job, though. So they block you from being able to get a job. Block you from, people that help you. They start harassing those people. If they're helping you financially, they'll move on to harassing them or convince them to cut you off to where you don't have no means of income and you're homeless and you're dealing with their harassment. And this is where you get the crazy people, going through it for so many years that they're fucking, you see you walking down the street yelling at people, leave me the fuck alone, and all that shit. Those are the ones of us that have been going through this shit for so fucking long. And people walk by them every day and just think they're crazy. Think they're fucking crazy. These people get paid off of us. Destroying our lives. They get paid off destroying our lives. This has been going on for so long. You gotta think, this is another brand. This is like a branch off from MK Ultra. You feel me? It's more technological now. They can use fucking directed energy weapons to give you fucking, LSD type of sensations and trips. Like, they can fucking, they can use shit to make you faint, pass out. They can use shit to make you fall asleep. Like, it's all technological now. So, yeah. It's just a more technological version of MK Ultra, more advanced. I'm not sure if this is live, if anybody's on this motherfucker. And they're not letting me see your comments. And, I've been doing this for like about an hour and some change, I believe. But, I don't know if this will upload. If it doesn't, I'm gonna do fucking more videos and shit. You feel me? The harder these people go on me, the harder I'm gonna go. So, and you'll probably see it in the video how it's breaking me down, these directed energy weapons. You'll be seeing it break down the dogs as well. You'll be seeing the actual neighbors doing the shit. You might not see them actually pointing the weapons and none of that shit, using the weapons, but you'll be seeing their faces and shit. You might as well meet them. And for those who think I'm lying, like, not only are my dogs whining from the directed energy weapons being used on them, but I had a little EMF reader. And, maybe it's, micro Teslas or whatever. But all the frequency was coming from that side where the neighbor was. At a specific point. Right where his window was at. So, yeah, man. It read very high. It did read very high, so you guys check that out. And you get people that leave comments like, do you know what a micro Tesla is? I don't give a fuck what it reads. It could read whatever. The frequency only picked up when I pointed it at that house. So whatever it's reading, something's coming from there. Something's causing that frequency to read. So, because any place else I took it, it wasn't reading. Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna end this. Probably do another one later. I'm gonna try and get as many lives in as I can. Because, like I said, I don't know what these motherfuckers gonna do. Alright, yeah.